I'm just a gay guy that makes music. Do you see people coming to you as like the spiritual?
I am surprised.
You're my spirit animal, bro.
I don't mind that so much, but I still am surprised by some people how vehemently, affected they can be by it in a macho,
in a bad way. It's confounding.
Yeah, it's confounding.
It's confounding
how I hate that word homophobic, but how homophobic people can be.
I mean, that's the word.
Yeah.
Do you circling all the way back to Arkansas?
Okay.
I'm being serious.
You're preparing me.
No.
One of my favorite stories with something like that is that I'd never played was it Alabama? Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama. I'd never played Alabama, and for about 2 weeks before the show, I was really worried about it because I was going alone, and I was
Thought it was gonna be all hillbillies.
and it's gonna be maybe I should get a little security backstage. Who knows?
I heard he's a
didn't know how to
homosexual.
Yeah, the whole thing. Arrived there, and I'm in the hotel, and I'm seeing a lot of gay people. A lot of gay guys. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I asked the person at the hotel, and they're like, oh, well, it's actually the world champion gay softball tournament in Birmingham, Alabama. Like the entire town was gay softball players. Yeah, I know. It was like the gayest.
Everyone in Alabama
place in the world to be.
And they all threw underhand.
Yeah.
They actually all literally threw underhand.
They all had big balls.
Big balls, throwing them underhand. Works well with a stick.
So often.
Touch them all, fellas.
You never know
Touch
how
them
it's
all.
going to work out. Anyway.
So when you go to towns like Arkansas, where it is
Conway, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Now, circling back, do you feel when you look out at the audience and realize that these are quote unquote your people?
Yeah.
Not necessarily gay, but people that get it.
Yeah.
Does that make it a better show for you? Do you feel like I got to take it up a notch? This is really like do they pull you in?
Yeah, no, they do. I mean, I'm also, I don't know.
Or is that annoying?
No, I adore it, and I have to say, I mean, it's a lot of work, and I got to keep going and doing it, but it's a constant, exercise and just in being, believe it or not, humility, where you have to really think how lucky you are and how fortunate you've been, and through these other people who have ferried you for this many years. I mean, Debbie Reynolds. I'm good friends with Carrie and Debbie. She was at one point she was ill and she couldn't do a couple of shows, and she asked her daughter Carrie, could you fill in for me? and then she said, and then Carrie's like, I don't think that's such a good idea. And then Debbie said, well, it's this certain amount of money. And it turns out it's the same thing I get paid for my shows pretty much equally. And I'm like, if I can be getting paid the same thing I get paid now when I'm Debbie's age, that's all I want.
I actually played Debbie Reynolds' granddaughter in the show.
You played her granddaughter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God.
It was a show that Carrie had written.
Yeah.
It was great. Debbie? Yeah. Terrific. She taught me to tap.
Amazing.
I mean, further. I was already a tapper, but she was hoofing, and she had her turban, before
play
it
Billy?
was wig time.
Billy's her act. You played Billy.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
essentially. Yes.
Yeah.
You actually knew the name of the...
Oh, I know this. I know that. I've done this for a long time. I slept with Carrie 2 nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, in the same bed for a while. I mean, not all night. I had to get up. It was just too...
Who can go all night at this
I'm one of those love him and leave him types.
Yeah, of course. What advice? We get a lot of emails from people. What do you tell a parent wrestling with a gay child? And I hate that I even have to say that word.
Well, my big thing, and this is something that I kind of I pine over the end of is that when I was a kid and I started to realize what was going on because, it wasn't so mainstream and being gay was still, actually it was arguably even more treacherous because the AIDS was, right out of the gate. So what I had to do is that I had to go back into history. I had to read Oscar Wilde. I had to listen to Tchaikovsky. I had to, watch Jean Cocteau films and be like, these are the peeps, these are my peeps, and Cole Porter or whatever. I had to kind of go back to the high end of culture, which gays have always dominated throughout history. So that's what
And
got me
softball
through.
in
Yeah, and
Alabama.
softball. Or other people's softballs. And so the so then I had to do that. Now I find, unfortunately, that with because it's a lot more open and a lot more accepted, there's this kind of, then that's when the marketers come in and the vodka companies and the
Gay vodka, drink it right out of the bottle.
And the flags and stuff, and it's fine.
But it becomes about who you sleep with as opposed to just who you love. It's not about genitalia,
and about what you wear, and about what your body's like, and
as
all
opposed
of this
to
stuff.
who you love. Who cares?
No, I know, and it's sort of, and I find for young people it might even be more difficult now because, life is tough in general, even if you have, matching tank tops, and it's kind of like.
That's also going in the quote notebook. Yeah. Life is tough in general, even if you have matching tank tops. Rufus Wainwright. We'll put that right next to our set of Arthur quotes.
Oscar Wilde as opposed to
Cole Porter. Just begin.
Andy Cohen.
What's your perfect day off?
I do love Andy Cohen. I do love Andy.
What's the 411, Andy Cohen? Watch What Happens Live. That's the show. Do you ever go on that show?
I haven't been invited yet.
Who's your ideal straight?
Well, aside from you.
Wow.
But who even knows if you're straight?
Buddy, I'm on the waiting list, believe me.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to be in a scene next week. Terrence Malick is making a movie about music stuff, and they're going to shoot some stuff in Austin at this festival I'm doing, and I think I have a brief scene with Ryan Gosling.
Our favorite.
Which is...
Canadian also.
Yeah.
And he grew up dancing. He's a dancer.
Yeah, so I don't know him at all. But
she pointed it out to me, and watch it next time you see anytime you watch him act, she pointed out to me, watch his body. You could tell he's a dancer.
Yeah.
Like the way he acts, he almost acts like a dancer.
I'm very excited about that. And Michael Fassbender, the two of them. I'm going to be in the same room with the two of them. It's like,
oh my God, right?
And I fucking had to get married before this scene.
Saw Shane?
I know.
You just wore out your pause button. Yeah. Jordan comes in and goes, "How come the 2 hash marks on the remote are worn out?" Oh, I was watching Shane. I was writing.
A song about you?
Yeah, I was writing a song called "Pause It" on Fassbender. It's all about you, Jordan. 2 last questions, and then we'll let you get out of here. Okay. I know you're very busy. And by the way, there's really no reason you need to be doing this podcast, so just thank you.
Oh, no problem.
And we love you,
problem.
and we just
thank you so much.
think you're God's gift to music.
Oh, well, that's
so when you talk about those people that used to do drugs with, and like, oh, they get me. I'm like, well, you're kind of in a room with people that know. We know you hung the moon.
I didn't need to pay thousands of dollars to shady characters.
No, you could just come over, and she would have baked you muffins.
Okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Like, what's the end game here?
I still want to write. I'd love to write a great opera. I mean, I wrote an opera called Prima Donna, which did very, very well.
Is that true that Lincoln Center wouldn't put it on unless you changed it into English?
The Metropolitan Opera.
The Metropolitan Opera. You write an opera in French.
Yeah. And they wouldn't do it.
And the Met says, if you change it to English, we'll put it on.
We'll put it on, yeah.
And you told them to kick rocks.
I told them to kick rocks.
That's
right
badass,
away.
bro.
Yeah, and now it went to BAM, and it did very, very well there at Brooklyn Academy of Music. And now I've been commissioned to write another one. But that's kind of my big dream.
Do you like writing operas? Is it French because it's a more beautiful language?
Yes, French is more beautiful than English.
I know that. Bien sûr.
That's an obvious.
Je sais ça, mais.
That's obvious. No, it sounds. But opera in well, I mean, it's hard in English. I'm not against. Well, I'm writing one. There's a lot of Latin in my new opera, but I'm not totally against.
That's going to sell a lot of tickets. People can't wait to hear Latin. What are you out of your mind?
The famous quote with English and opera, though I'm not totally against writing in English. I just didn't want to hit it off the bat. But the famous quote is in Italian. That in English it's drink, 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 drink.
It's not.
Yeah.
So I think you answered it already with the Debbie Reynolds question, but the question, are you ever done?
No, especially looking at my father, who's now in his late 60s and singing better than ever and writing the most incredible songs of his career. So and my
only
mother,
because you brought it up. Mended fence, good to go.
Yes, no, my dad and I are doing really, really well. I mean, you're never gonna get what you always wanted, and it's not gonna be a complete package. But
brother, let me tell you something. It took me so long to realize that the love my father isn't giving me is 100% of everything he has.
Yeah.
And I tell my friends and I tell anybody that'll listen, like, your grouchy dad on the couch that you think you can't please. That's when you were born. All the stars in the universe got into a onesie, and he told everybody, "I have a son," and he still feels that way. And your job as a parent, I feel, everyone is just to give that much more than what you have. And that's the gig. If you can do better, get out there, get a kid, and do it. But your father is, and I'm saying it to the listeners, he's giving you everything. There's no rainy day fun that your father's going to go, you know what? Now that I'm 90, you want to go to the carousel? And you know what? I never looked you in the eye and told you I love you. He can't. They don't know how.
No, I know.
I can't thank you enough. And RufusWainwright.com is a great website. And I loved you're very interactive. Your meet and greets. Everyone's so happy.
I know.
You put on such a show, and you got all these housewives that are like,
I know.